the book in, because I went to MIT, we were doing a meditation. We were doing a meditation, and I always get, that's what I was telling. Today is a very special day. It's the day where Goddess of Nutrition was born. So she has a golden bowl. I was told in 2001 I met higher beings, because once you open a portal, like how you have portals you open, right? That's for good and bad.
I never hear anybody say that word though.
But you can also open the bad portal too.
That's right.
So you can. So that's what drugs is. Yeah. Drugs is opening something that you don't want.
Right. Yeah.
But same way, spirituality also is like, so they call it seeking. Like, you're seeking something, and it could be good or bad, we don't know. But both will be presented equally. So each time, our choice is what makes us go higher and higher and higher. Because every time it will be fork. Every time. And the fork is like, in India, they call it 4 different levels will be. Thinking happens first. And the thinking started with fish. That's why evolution started with fish. And then the second one is memory. Turtles. Like, they left the sea to come, because turtles is about knowledge. That's why, many people. Actually, in India, commitment, when a man and woman marry, they make a turtle.
That's cool.
Because this is back of the turtle.
Right, yeah.
So it'll be like a cup. So they actually, inside, it'll be empty. And this is all the prayers inscribed on top. Cool. This is the marriage pendant they will wear.
Really?
It's a commitment you make for life. Because just like the turtle, which can outlive any beings, because they have the survival skills, it's beyond normal.
It's beyond,
So, and also because they took the water body wisdom to land, they can survive both.
Yeah, both.
So they can survive calamity this side and that side. That's the beauty about turtles. And they can go into dormancy. They can regenerate itself by going into a ball.
Yeah.
And the snapping turtle can stay dormant like for 15, 20 years, it seems.
I've heard of that.
So that's like another beauty. But so turtle is about life itself. Okay. And that's why, like, they lay their egg and they leave. How do they track each other? I think they have a tracking mechanism.
I never understood that.
No, because they have a different way of connecting. I actually saw a little turtle crossing a path one day. So I picked it up, and it was so tiny. And so I put it in a little coffee cup, and I had it in my car, and it started traveling everywhere. I got freaked out. So when I came home, I put it in a fish tank.
Right, yeah.
And whole night it chirped.
Really?
Like my heart
could be there.
My heart broke, like I'm like saying, oh my God, because animals communicate by picture.
Right.
And they have a very different tracking mechanism. We have no idea what it is. But then, so the turtle, afterwards I told my husband, I said, I'm going to leave it in the middle of the road where I picked up. He says, wouldn't you be sensible and go put it in the water? He says, be kind.
Did you put it in the road?
I said, because I said, what if he's lost?
He's lost. Oh, no.
So I had to go put it back because I couldn't live with myself. The whole night I was like horrified. I said, and it was like a bird chirping,
You put him back in the same spot you found him, pretty much?
No, my husband refused. The same spot, but he says he brought it to the water.
Yeah.
He says, let us figure out where he was going.
Right.
So he went and left it in the body of water next to it. But the reason is, so the second thing is knowledge, okay? The third thing is relationship, because by creating that thinking, the memory they create. If the memory is sweet, we build a relationship. If the memory is bad, we create habits, okay?
Habits, yeah.
So the third thing is relationship. For relationship, only the evolution happened, like the monkey state we reached. That's how they could relate to everything in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they could relate by standing up and stuff. So the last, now we are reaching superconscious level. And the superconscious level is we are given the ability to accept things as they are or to change everything about our world, whether it's pollution, drug, addiction, everything. We're coming into another form where you have to do the right thing, whether we like it or not. And that's why smartphones and all, like, everybody's captured, everybody's called out. Like, it's like we are at the perfect storm, okay? So
the perfect storm.
Yes. So I feel we are reaching. So this portal, like, today is about creating exactly what makes us feel nourished and whatever you ask for will be given to you. And that is the third day of the new moon when the spring opens. So it's like you are going to harvest your own. So in ancient India, they used to say it in a different way. They said the ultimate knowledge source, he called Shiva. Shiva is inspiring. And when you die is Shava. Dead is the breath goes.
Right.
So the breath space is all these entities are held, whether it's a life, eat. So if you understand that, you would understand this is really not a deity worship. It's a worship of exactly what is that you're breathing in.
Right.
So people in West cannot comprehend it, but in East we know what we're asking for.
Yeah.
So today, the ultimate source, he challenges, because like how they say, behind every man there is a woman, right? So she's a force behind his action. Okay.
Yeah.
So he tells her, and she is the holder of the body. Okay. So she makes us animate and not feel violated. That's her role. And he always feels he's not enough, so he needs to keep running around to protect her. Okay, so this is the relationship they hold. And again, it's not male and woman, it's all like one half is her, so all of us have both energy inside. So the right side is supposed to be my priest said always men are right, so right, but women say women actually also think the same way.
Yeah.
So that's why, in marriage, they make some literally sit across each other. They'll put a coconut because life force. So what they see is opposite of each other. So they are right, but that's on the man's left. You understand?
Yeah.
So that when you get married, you're sitting across each other, across the fire.
Yeah.
So you're mirror image of the other person, but both can fight if they're on the opposite side. But when you combine it together, you are equally responsible.
Right.
So, but it's like so many subtle meaning. I have no idea. Okay. So then anyway, so that's why DNA is two pairs, because the DNA is one side is male, one side is female. So we are given equal opportunity. So XX, XY, it doesn't matter who you are, So when you come across, so this ultimate source, when he says that, this wife gets so ticked off. She says, I'm going to take off. I don't believe that. So she separates from him, she goes away, and she stops feeding everybody in the world. So everybody goes into hunger and they go beg him. They say, please, can you spare us? So that's when it hits him. His statement made an error. So she, meantime, today, she gets born as a nutrition, because it's not about the body, it's about what soul feels it's hungry for.
That's right.
And if that hunger is not fulfilled, no matter what you have all the time in the world to do everything, still you're miserable, right? So he understands he cannot even be satisfied without her. So he comes running, and she tells everybody, bring your begging bowl, I'm going to give it to you. And everybody brings it. That day gold is probably cheaper. Everybody has a gold bowl. Yeah. So she puts everybody what they want, and he brings his begging bowl to her.
No.
And he says, please come back.
Yeah.
So this is said Indian way. Same thing cool. In Greek, right? They said Dimitri is wife of Zeus. Zeus is a flirt. He always goes after pretty girls. Right. So he's up in heaven, and she's so disgusted, she leaves him, and he doesn't care. So she is the goddess of harvest. So she is harvesting, and she's the prettiest daughter. Zeus' brother is Hades. He rules the underworld. So he captures the daughter of Dimitri because he loves her. So he goes underneath. So Dimitri goes and tells Zeus. She says, I want my daughter back, not even a hair harmed. And if you don't give it back, he says, what are you going to do? She says, I'm going to starve people. I'm not going to harvest anymore.
No.
And so he says, go away. I don't have any time for you. So she goes away. Finally, people, when they are hungry, they go back to him. Zeus, what are you doing? And that's when he wakes up. Oh my God. So then he calls her. He says, what are you doing? She says, I asked long ago to release my daughter. You didn't take me seriously. So he then tells Hades, he says, release the daughter. Nothing should be harmed. Otherwise, I'll trash your whole hell. So Hades, immediately, he opens a pomegranate. He takes one seed. He puts it way behind in her molar. Tells the girl, close your mouth. So the juice went in. So he says that's a secret. Even though I'm going to release you with no hair harm, that essence of the juice is in the thyroid.
That's right. Yeah.
You can never
That's it.
come out of it.
Yeah.
So even though she's like technically everything is,
Yeah.
but there is a just she gained or lost, whatever way you want to look at it. That's the space.
Wow.
We cannot take it away from people, and that is what I'm fighting with now.
I understand.
Because it could be good, it could be
yeah.
bad. And pomegranate is actually resveratrol and stuff. But the problem is it's not so much as the essence. It's the essence of the journey needs to make them grow. But if they're stuck in it, what they lost is where they are getting lost. So
Wow.
even though they are released, they're not going back. And I have no idea how to teach it. But that's where I'm at. So my mom was actually the last gift she gave me before she died is the goddess of nutrition. So I connect with, because the only way we can end world problem is by feeding. So no people should go hungry, no matter whether they are in jail. So we feed them.
I believe that too.
So I feel feeding is what is going to release. So my teacher took over. He announced, he said in his watch, he is not going to go anybody hungry. Anybody comes and asks for food, we are going to do free food. So I have other side, they call it ultimate teacher. Parama Acharya. Acharya means teacher. Parama means ultimate. Ultimate teacher is there. And I have no idea who it is. You know, like the thing is, I'm not there where I can see exactly.
Right, yeah.
I can only like know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, even there, what they give me as message, I have to like flounder, you know. I have no idea. Because sometimes I'll be totally screwed up, you know.
Yeah,
So they told me, like 2001, I finally said, I want to get back on serious spiritual path. So, and I have been having a lot of guidance since then. So that time they said by allowing me to come back and opening the door to enlightenment, they'll give me my own golden bowl, I was told. So this year, and so each year I'll have a target, what I want to fill it with, okay? So last year was the feeding program and stuff. This year, I asked my teacher, because I always ask for guidance, not this teacher, the ultimate teacher.
Yeah.
And so he said, this teacher is called Sadhguru, meaning like he is the completion of all the teachers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my teacher, I need to ask, what is it in the bowl I need to put? Because that's a goddess of nutrition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he prayed to her as well. So when I asked him, he said, now that he took over, he says, fill it with water. He says, water is the next thing we need to work on.
Yeah.
So I'm going to buy literally in Indian store, they sell bowl filled with Ganges water. So from now on, each year to honor him, honor that lesson, because when they said golden bowl, I went and bought in Chinese store that bowl. I literally buy it. And I bought this pendant, like, you know, see, I symbolically also follow, because until my mind comprehends, I'll work with that energy. And then it's like actually 1 year I was even working with, because they told me I'll cross the Rainbow Bridge. And they said for Rainbow Bridge, the crossover is the unicorn. Okay, so I actually in Jamaica, I was there and I was given a unicorn. One of my friend was so fascinated by it. He says, oh my God, I wish I had it. So when I left for America, I said, I want to give you a present, and I gave him my unicorn. He says, it doesn't mean anything to you? Actually, I collect not because it means anything. It means the Rainbow Bridge. How can I even explain? I think people think I'm crazy.
Oh, man.
I said, hey, I crossed over.
Hey.
My Rainbow Bridge to feed America. That's all I wanted.
It worked.
You
right?
can have the unicorn.
You could have the unicorn.
He was so thrilled, you know. So now I'm literally looking for water. And I said, you know, I have no idea what I'm dealing with.
Oh, boy.
They said all the animals actually are crossing a ley lane. It's a sacred path they are following, it seems, for migration.
Yeah.
And all the beings in this world, except for human beings, are protecting water source. Because when they migrate, that's the only source of water that will allow them to drink friendly. So they take turn. Lion will take turn. elephants will come in, the feeding hole, the elders will protect, the younger will go feed. They have some sort of a companionship.
And they have like
they don't hunt near the water hole. If you have seen it.
No.
Yeah. So
I've watched the migration shows and stuff, and it's amazing how they know where to go.
So
and
I don't know.
It's got to be something that
so they
guides them to that.
They also listen to feeding habits. That's what I'm saying. I think that human beings are the one we betray each other. When they go to feed, we hunt. You know,
we hunt. Yeah.
And I just saddens
Instead of
me.
feeding, we hunt.
Yes.
I agree with that.
So I think I want to understand that concept, and I'm working with
I've been trying to understand it a long time.
So one of the things the teacher said is, under 20 feet, if you dig well, the water source is going to be pure.
It's going to be pure, yeah.
Because the top 10 feet is only distorted because the pollution hit.
Right.
He says, if everybody works on dwelling a well, you wouldn't depend on government for water.
And they say that's the first thing we're going to run out of is drinking water.
Yeah. So I think well water is our secret to health, but I don't know how to implement. There is something called simple well.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
So which you can dig in your home itself, and you can use solar energy to bring the water out. So that's like around like $2,000 to implement.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm going to focus on. But because that's what is given as my project, I started literally 2 days ago. I asked my teacher. I said, "Please, can you?" And this is the reason I know there's a different teacher is because actually I'm going to show you this. So let me stop. So I'll show you. Maybe I think because once I show you, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Because this one, my teacher was doing a pilgrimage, and he came across if you understand that, because I get signs from heavens, and even though it doesn't make sense, but
no, it does, because I mean you're spiritual, you know, so you get the
the reason that the ultimate teacher I'm saying is the meaning for this. He already gave it to me. This meaning, like the 5 holes. It is whatever you want to put in the bowl. In the middle is your middle, that finger, the middle. The last 4 is your directions, like how to obtain it. Each one has a specific purpose. So I am thinking about that because he visited that pilgrimage that day and he posted that's where he went. And then I'm driving, right? And this is going to be like ultimate thing, which if you understand, like how interesting it is. So I'm driving, okay? I'm like contemplating on my teacher, the other teacher, because that is the teacher who told me the secret last year. Last year itself, I got the answer. Now I got the picture. That's how it works, okay? Right, so you get like information first, and then the puzzle comes later. So I am thinking about him because he raised somebody else in sainthood. He also died, and that's why he visited. So my teacher has been gone from 1994, I think. The guy who I received wisdom from, and he came across the second descendant who died like in his late 90s or something. So he went to visit him, and during that pilgrimage he came across that. So I'm driving. Look at that sky.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I feel I don't need to doubt.
It's all. I mean, you asked for it and you received.
And so I have no doubt.
We're blind to a lot of stuff.
So I'm like saying, look at that, and
it's right there. All of it.
I stayed with me for like 20 minutes.
That's amazing.
And I even
see most people wouldn't understand that.
Yeah, and he January 12th, 2018, this year. See, each saint in India, they'll adopt a specific form of food as their blessing. Okay, so they have a steamed rice cake that my ultimate teacher
Yeah.
decided would be the form He'll Bless the World. January 12th, his descendant was still alive. He died March, some date, I forgot which date. So January 12th, my teacher announced, I am taking over the rice cakes as my offering for future. So anytime people visit me, that's going
Right.
to be guaranteed,
Yeah.
always. Anytime they visit, their kitchen will serve. So I'm watching and I'm like, immediately I went and cooked that here and I posted it. So then March, his death happens. That is, they in India, they decide when they want to leave because they have the ability to leave when they want. So they call it samadhi. So he in life he announced when he is going. So everybody is chanting and he is leaving. So when he is leaving, what they do is they make him sit and physically still alive, but his breath is gone. But that doesn't mean the body is not alive. He'll keep it alive forever.
That's it.
So that's why, in other cultures too,
Yeah.
they have this
Right.
Sacred spaces, right? So he's kept in a seated position, and they will keep praying daily, and that's what hardens.
I see.
So you can still see that
You
form.
can still see the form.
So it's
Yeah.
forever
Yeah.
preserved. Okay. So he was there, and it stunned me, and I immediately wrote to him. I said, "Is that the reason you announced January 12th that this is going to be a food?" He said, "Yes." He answered it back.
Wow, that's crazy, huh?
So that's nice to have a teacher who gets me.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
And you don't find that often. You really.
So he's like superhuman. Seriously, he can tap and correct my behavior here.
Like
if I may do a mistake, he will yank my hair. Literally, I will get like a hair pull, and he says that's a bad thinking. He will literally, one day, right, I was thinking something very negative thought about my father, okay? Something he wanted to buy, and I was so annoyed with him. I'm saying, oh my God, he spends a lot of my money, And you know what happened? When I got out, my car door slammed and my thumb got caught. Oh, I went into this agony of pain.
Oh, yeah.
Agony of pain. And I'm like saying, oh my God. So they punish me, like spiritual punishment. That's what I'm saying,
I believe in that. Like, us
karma, right?
We get karma, yeah, that's what we call it. Yeah.
But like my dad was right there and I couldn't yell because I knew immediately why I was punished.
What you put out is what you receive.
Yeah, and my dad didn't even know what I was going through.
But
and that really shut me on that day.
But that made you
because
think twice.
You know what my teacher says is, when somebody asks for food, don't crib inside. So my dad doesn't understand my budget. He will buy like juice and things for like $25 when he's visiting me, and he wants me to pay for it. And he wouldn't honor it, So like I feel overwhelmed when he visits me, and plus he wants me to pay for his visit. Plus, everything. Like, sometimes I feel, give me a break.
It's never enough. Yeah.
So, but I love him.
I understand. Yeah.
But like sometimes I'm not in a good space, and that pain took me like, oh my God, like almost 3 weeks to heal.
It made you think twice, huh?
No, afterwards I never ever complained about buying food for another person. See, it's not about thinking. What he's showing me is when it comes to food, stop all this nonsense.
Stop all, yeah. Because that's the reason we're in this predicament, I think, is because we used to grow all our own vegetables and raise our own farm animals and stuff, and now you don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
Very, very little, It's like a lot of our stuff is
I think before World War. See, the World War is what changed us.
It definitely changed, yeah, definitely.
We became industrialized.
There's no reason why we can't do all that still today in today's society.
Actually, I was watching a show. This day they call it. Have you seen that hog town in North Carolina? They say it stinks so bad. People there, they say the pigs are grown for bacon.
Yep.
And they said everybody has to throw up in their neighborhood. The water, they spill it around. The whole place stinks, and they call it hog farm. So the pigs are actually not even let out. They are in a cage constantly.
Yeah.
And so they are fed. That's the same way with milking cows. They don't even graze anymore.
They don't.
And,
They don't.
so like,
It's all.
so they are saying drinking milk and eating bacon, 2 ways we can save the world by stopping. Only 2 things.
2 things. That's it.
And
And
let them be free. Like I feel even if
we don't even see wild horses anymore. And years ago you'd see a lot. So.
Anyway, I feel it's beyond me. Some things I cannot